In this frozen paradise, where temperatures plummet to unimaginable lows, an icy kingdom awaits. Today, we'll journey into the heart of the Arctic Circle to unravel the secrets of polar bear existence. Get ready to embark on a wild ride as we explore the majestic world of the Arctic's apex predator. Let's dive in. Home sweet Arctic home. The Arctic is one of the coldest places on the planet. It's full of ice, snow, and endless white landscapes. In winter, the sun almost disappears and the land is covered with darkness. In summer, the sun shines almost all day and the ice starts to melt. This strange rhythm of light and dark makes the Arctic a unique home for many animals. Among them, the polar bear is the true king. Tall, powerful, and yet surprisingly gentle with their cubs, polar bears are perfectly built for survival here. Imagine an animal that can walk on ice, swim for hours in freezing water, and still look like a giant, fluffy teddy bear. That is our polar bear. Body and adaptations. Polar bears look soft, but their bodies are like machines made for the Arctic. Their fur is white, but each hair is actually transparent. It reflects the light, making the bear look snow white. Under the fur is a thick layer of fat, sometimes up to 10 centimeters, to keep them warm. Their paws are wide, like natural snowshoes. With these, they can walk on thin ice without falling through. The paws also have tiny bumps that help them grip the ice. And in water, the paws act like paddles. Polar bears are amazing swimmers. Some can swim more than 60 kilometers at one time. And what about that cute little nose of theirs? It's a super sensor. They can smell a seal, their favorite food, from almost 1 kilometer away, even if the seal is hiding under thick ice. Daily life and hunting. The daily life of a polar bear is all about survival. The Arctic is beautiful, but it is not easy. The main diet of polar bears is seals. To catch them, the bear waits silently near a hole in the ice. Seals come up for air, and the bear strikes quickly. Sometimes a bear must wait for hours, even a whole day, to catch a seal. This waiting game is called still hunting. It requires patience, skill, and a lot of energy. You might think it's boring, but for a polar bear, it's an exciting challenge. But life is not only about food. Polar bears love to rest on the ice, roll in the snow, and even slide down small slopes like children. Scientists have seen polar bears playing with blocks of ice, just like toys. Cubs and family life. Perhaps the most charming part of polar bear life is when cubs are born. A mother bear usually gives birth to 1 or 2 cubs inside a snow den. She makes the den during winter by digging deep into a snowdrift. Inside, it is warm and safe. The cubs are born tiny, only about 30 centimeters long and weighing less than 1 kilogram. Imagine a creature that will grow into a 500-kilogram adult, starting so small. For the first 3 months, the cubs stay inside the den, drinking their mother's rich milk. When spring comes, the mother leads the cubs outside. She teaches them how to walk on ice, how to swim, and how to hunt. Cubs are curious and playful. They jump on each other, chase snowflakes, and climb on their mother's back. But life is dangerous. Only about half of the cubs survive their first year. That is why the mother is so protective. Friends and enemies in the Arctic, polar bears are at the top of the food chain. They do not have many enemies. Sometimes they fight with other polar bears over food or territory. And occasionally they meet humans, which can be dangerous for both sides. Other Arctic animals, like Arctic foxes or seabirds, sometimes wait near a polar bear's leftovers to steal a bite. It is like having little thieves at a dinner table. The bear usually ignores them. After all, a polar bear has bigger meals in mind. The challenge of climate change life is becoming harder for polar bears. The Arctic ice is melting faster every year because of climate change. Polar bears depend on sea ice to hunt seals. Without ice, they must swim longer distances and waste more energy. Some bears even come closer to human villages, searching for food in garbage. Scientists worry that if the ice keeps melting, polar bears will face serious danger. But there is hope. Many organizations are working to protect the Arctic environment. People are learning to reduce pollution, use clean energy, and respect the balance of nature. The future of polar bears depends on us. So the next time you enjoy a delicious meal, remember the polar bears patiently waiting for their own feast. These majestic creatures rely on the frozen landscape for their very survival. By understanding and respecting their way of life, we can ensure that future generations will witness the awe-inspiring sight of polar bears in their natural habitat. A day in the life of a polar bear. Imagine waking up before the sun, but the sun never rises. Welcome to the Arctic. Here, a polar bear family is starting its day. Mum, Dad, and their 2 cubs live on an ice floe in the middle of the ocean. Dad is hungry. He hasn't eaten for 2 days. To find food, he dives into the water and swims after a group of seals. Seals are his favorite food. He chases them, but the seals are too quick. Dad tries again and again, but it's hard to catch a meal. Meanwhile, Mum takes care of the cubs. They are still too small to hunt, so Mum teaches them how to play in the snow. They tumble, roll, and slide on the ice. It looks like fun. Suddenly, Dad returns. He has a big fish in his mouth. It's not a seal, but it's something to eat. The cubs are happy to see Dad, and soon the whole family is eating together. After the meal, it's time for a nap. The cubs cuddle with Mum while Dad looks out for danger. It's not easy being a polar bear. There are not many places to live in the Arctic, and sometimes it's hard to find food. But the family sticks together. Soon, it will be time for the cubs to learn how to hunt. They will have to catch their own food. The cubs are growing fast, and they need lots of energy to stay strong. As the sun finally begins to shine, the family gets ready for a new day. Dad goes off to hunt again. Mum plays with the cubs, and the cycle of life in the Arctic continues. Now that you know a bit more about polar bears, ask yourself, what do you admire most about them? Is it their strength, cuteness, or their struggle for survival? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to show your support if you want to see more videos about fascinating animals. Thanks for watching.